Well, good morning. Today we are at the home of Chen, and we've got something really special in store for you. We are in Northern California, in Fremont, California. So we're going to find out what it is that we've got that's really special. He's got some exciting things to see. This is Yun.
Nice to meet you.
You bet. Nice to meet you also, and thank you for inviting us to your home and see your garden. Before we get started, just a few questions. This zone here in Fremont, do you know what zone we're in?
I think it's 9B.
9B?
Yeah,
okay.
We occasionally get some frost, like temperatures down to 27 or so.
Okay. And what about rainfall? About how much in
I
this
believe
area?
it's average is 16 inches.
Okay. Okay. So now do you irrigate these?
Yeah,
or?
sure.
Of course. So
I use drip irrigation. Actually, you will see some lines here and there.
All right, good. So just to give all of us a background as to what we're looking at. This tree right here, your Loquat, what kind is this?
Oh, it actually started from a seedling, but
Really?
then I grafted some other varieties to it from my friends. Which, if I taste something good, I graft to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what varieties have you got?
I actually don't keep track of these names.
The good tasting
yeah, they're
ones.
good. Yeah, and some of my friends, they don't know the variety name anyway.
Okay.
But I do keep it this low shape, so by cutting heavily, you can see what's on the ground that I recently did.
And you can reach pretty much anything with a small step stool or something.
Yes.
All right. So we have here a beautiful persimmon, is that right?
Yes.
And I think I know what these are. Go ahead. What?
The Fuyu persimmon.
Okay.
This is just a regular persimmon.
It's a nice massive tree, but it's cut low, but curves kind of around. Very nice. So the real treat for today is this plant right behind me, which I would be surprised if you recognize. So why don't you tell us what we've got behind us?
Yeah, this is a young Maitri. Young Mei actually is a Chinese word. The scientific name, I think, is Morella rubra, or used to be Miraca rubra. And this is a really tasty fruit. Unfortunately, all the fruits are gone 3 weeks ago about.
Okay.
But you can see the nice, beautiful leaves and tender, the new shoots.
Up here?
Yeah. And these are certainly going to produce more fruits next year.
This plant is just so healthy. You can see where Yun has trimmed it, and almost immediately we've got a flush of new fruit, and that is just, or not fruit, but leaves coming out, and this thing is just so healthy and happy in this location.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. We're going to take a closer look. Yunfei, these trees are huge to what I've seen. They really are. I mean, we just looked at a trunk that must have been at least this big. And so you've had them in the ground for a while. How long have these been in the ground?
Oh, I started what year? 2010 from seeds, and so they came up in 2011, and I did some grafting on 2013, and later on I kept grafting, and so since grafting it's been 5 years.
Wow! So you've in the ground 7 years, approximately.
Yes.
My goodness! And so with the grafting, you've got a number of varieties of this.
Right.
And so tell us.
Okay, sure. Right behind you, Rick, this one is the Dongquei, which is the biggest variety of all Yangmei. And they can get to like this big, the size of a ping pong or even bigger.
So the variety of the fruit itself?
Probably not that big. The ping pong ball is probably like this big.
Okay.
Anyway, if you take out the ping pong ball,
yeah,
that's the average size of a nice fruit.
Okay.
Most of the fruits are slightly smaller than that, but they're still big. Okay, and then behind me here is the other variety, Bichi. And Bichi is smaller than that, maybe half the size of Dongquei, but they're like dark purple to black and full of flavor and sweeter than Dongquei. And I think most Chinese prefer this variety. They like the taste of this variety, and I certainly like this. That's why most of my trees are actually this variety here. And of course, I also need the male tree, and two of the seedlings are actually male by themselves, although I grafted a bunch of other varieties to them. And behind you, in this direction, Rick, here is the other variety called, I would call it pink, because in Chinese it's called Fenghong, which means pink. And the fruit, when it's not fully ripe, is creamy pinkish color. And when they're really ripe, it's darker red, a little bit red, or you can say dark pink or something. And that's a very different variety too. The only thing is it drops fruits a little bit prematurely, and so you don't get every fruit to ripen. So
I see.
Yeah, but it's different variety, and it's worth keeping too.
It sounds like you've got quite a collection. You're going to be able to even maybe try some cross-pollination.
Not ready yet.
Not yet, not yet, but someday maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
A question about your garden here. You've got what looks to me like a structure to hold some shade over your plants.
Yes.
You want to tell a little bit about this? Is such a new fruit. Nobody knows how to raise it,
right?
You know, even if they had the chance to get
certainly. And I certainly have been experimenting a little bit here too, and you can still see a little bit of shading cloth here that's hang on top of this structure, and I used to have a little bit more than that, and as the trees grow bigger, I don't feel like they need them anymore. But I believe these trees, when they're young especially, certainly benefit from a little bit of shading. And I also use this structure to put some bird netting on top and around, but seems like the birds are not really bothering the fruits.
They haven't read about it.
Right. So I'll probably wait till they figure it out before I put more netting on it.
Right. Well, good idea. And this is, you know, a somewhat temporary structure, so if you feel it in the future you don't need it, or if you feel you need to keep it covered, you have that opportunity.
I actually remove the top every winter.
I just love this tree here. It's just so full of leaves and everything. But the fruit itself, since this is a fruit that most of us have never seen, never tasted, just maybe heard about, how do you describe the fruit flavors?
Yeah, this is a tough question for me, Rick, but I'll try my best. Some people said it's a little bit hint of strawberry. Some people said it's a little bit hint of mulberry. Other people think there's something like blueberry or other things that I can't remember. And then when you chew on it, there's a single stone in the middle, but the flesh is outside. There's no peel or skin or anything. And the consistency, I would say it's a little bit tougher than mulberry or raspberry, maybe similar to some of the strawberries.
Interesting.
Yeah, but regardless of the ethnic background, whoever I gave the fruit to for taste, I I think they all said it's wonderful. So that's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. That's
Yeah.
a great characteristic.
And besides, you mentioned the trees, so the leaves are so full. Actually, I just trimmed them big time after harvest. So if you were here like a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
it would have been much more.
Now, when the fruit comes out, and you mentioned about trimming them, do you trim off where it has fruited, or do you trim for a fruiting spur?
Not necessarily. At this point, I just generally try to cut it down to the size that I want to control it, because there's gonna be enough fruiting anyway next year.
So one tree will produce,
I don't know, for me, maybe about 400 to 600 fruits.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. I gotta have one of these. I think we're all gonna find we want one. It immediately brings to my mind, how do I get one? And I'm sure people watching this are going to be asking the same question. How soon can I get one? Yeah.
Okay, good question. And like you said, since this is such a wonderful fruit,
Yeah.
I certainly recognize the same situation. So I have been working with a nursery close to the Bay Area, trying to propagate more of this fruit tree.
Right.
And we've got some progress so far, and I'm not sure exactly when they're gonna be selling, but my guess is maybe a couple years.
I think you're probably right. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go down to the nursery or Home Depot and pick one up.
No, not yet.
But it's such a specialty fruit, and we want to make clear to everybody watching, it's such a specialty fruit that look for it, but don't put your hopes up too soon, because it will take some time before these actually get to market. Is that about right?
And especially in quantities.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, darn. Yunfei, this is an interesting looking plant, and you tell me that this is a Chinese
Tun tree. Chinese tun tree.
Tun tree, T-O-O-N. Okay.
Yes, correct.
So tell me about this. How do you eat it? How do you prepare it? What do you use it for?
Okay, I'll try my best, but I'm not too familiar with this tree yet. But I got this from a friend recently, and it's still young. But you eat the very young shoots, just a little bit of it, the tip of it. And it's really tasty and a very special flavor. And you cook it with, sometimes with tofu or eggs, and it's really good. And I just pick the top here and try to encourage the lateral growth.
Lateral
Yes.
growth, yeah. Now, do you stir fry? I mean, or is it?
You could just eat it almost like raw. You cook quickly in boiling water, and then mix with tofu or other food.
Okay.
And,
when you say eggs, I mean, I immediately think, well.
Yeah, you could fry it with the eggs. Yeah. Yes.
Like an asparagus, perhaps.
I'm not quite sure, because see, I only got one little tip so
one
far,
chance
so
at eating it.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm still
Okay.
experimenting with it.
When we walked up, this was one of the most noticeable plant as we came up outside on our way in, and I was wondering what in the world is this, but getting up a little closer, I think I recognize it with the little bit of redness around it. It's not ripe. What is this?
It's Hawthorne. Actually,
Okay.
it's a Chinese variety of Hawthorne, and we in China are quite used to the Hawthorne.
Right.
It's a popular fruit. Well, not like eaten fresh by everyone, because
Right.
it's really sour,
Yeah.
but the flavor is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I certainly want to get one when I get the backyard. And fortunately for this one, you can buy online from some of the retail nurseries.
So is it related to apple? or is it?
It should be related to apple, and I think
Yeah.
Hawthorne is available native here. But somehow nobody wants to plant and eat them. Maybe the fruits are different, and I haven't tried. But this Chinese version is definitely good.
I've tried, and for me, when I tried it, I realized I'm eating it wrong. I have seen images of this fruit in China on sticks, right?
Oh yeah, some people do that.
Where they dip it into something sweet.
Yes, that's right. But I never did that here. I just eat it fresh.
Eat it straight, fresh.
And somehow I'm some of those people who can tolerate a strong acidic taste. So
okay, so it's acidic.
Yeah, it's quite tart. But
taste and flavor similar to.
Again, it's a very unique flavor. The fruit itself is like a small apple with some bigger seeds in the middle. But the flavor is really nice. You have to taste to know it.
Well, absolutely, and I think that's part of what we're trying to do is when we see fruits that are maybe not common to those of us in California, you know, it helps to hear how people eat it, how it's used, because we don't know, and we all want to learn, and that's part of this. This tree is just covered with fruit.
Yeah, and if you come here a month or two later, there will be beautiful
red,
orange red, or some of
size.
them like purple red fruits, the size of a cherry, about 1 inch in diameter, and so it's gonna be beautiful.
Okay,
yeah, so first you find the better ones.
So I've just picked 2 lovely plums off of the same tree. Obviously you've been doing some grafting.
Yes, sure.
So this tree is which of these?
This tree itself is the burgundy.
This is the burgundy plum.
Yeah, but then I grafted, I believe it's Shiro from a friend, but it looks like a Shiro.
All right, and we get to try this.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, all right.
Oh, looks like this is a ripe one.
We got a good one. Oh, look at the juice coming out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Are we ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Okay. Mmm. Oh my. Nice, juicy, sweet. Not a very strong flavor like, say, a Santa Rosa.
Yes.
Very nice on the skin. Mmm.
Yeah, I usually prefer to eat the burgundy when they're really ripe.
Oh, this is really ripe.
This is
just really, really ripe. There you go.
Oh, for me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I've got to save one for my photographer here, or he will forget me in the interim. This is a beautiful burgundy plum. Sorry.
Well, he can pick another one.
No, I guess so. Maybe he should, huh? Now this variety, the Shiro, I've not tried before.
Okay, then you got to try it.
So this is going to be something a little different.
Yeah, the skin is a little bit on the sour side, but the inside is so juicy and
oh my gosh,
flavorful.
It's just dripping juice all over me here.
You probably should just put the whole thing in your mouth.
That's not going to be hard to do. Full of juice.
Yes, exactly.
Very sweet.
And this is a very nice ripe fruit that you picked.
Boy, I think I lucked out here. The skin, like you say, has a certain sourness to it, but the fruit itself is absolutely...
No, I'm okay, I have more. You have all you have picked.
Delicious. Delicious. Just filled with juice and sweetness. The acid character certainly along the skin. Very nice fruit. So We've got beneath us here a mulberry, and no, we're not standing on anything but the ground, and you've cut this way back. And with my mulberry, now we have another mulberry behind us here. What is this type?
Yeah, this is Pakistan. It fruited a long time ago, a couple of months
Constantly.
ago.
And one of the things about the Pakistan that I'm familiar with, because I've grown these before, when you cut them, you get another flush of fruit. And my assumption is this one here has recently been cut back, but this is a different variety. What is this one?
This is Persian mulberry.
Ah, okay. And this little mulberry here, is just found underneath. Is this a flush after it's been cut back also?
Not really. I think it's been fruiting. The fruit has been here since this a while ago before I cut it. But this is really a very small Persian mulberry. It should get really big. But for some reason, maybe the climate or something, in my yard, the Persian mulberry hasn't been doing as well as the Pakistan. So the reason I cut it back, actually, to reduce the competition to the Pakistan, I tried to get this guy grow more and produce more fruits.
Well, in that case, you don't mind if I just get rid of some of this, right?
Okay, sure. I enjoy it.
Tart, a bit sour, yet the sweetness comes through also. This is still my favorite.
This guy is
still
full of
favorite.
flavor and sweeter.
And I see no fruit on it, doggone it. I have a surprise that I'd like to share with you. This plant is you told us it was
it's a gooseberry.
It's a gooseberry, and you planted it because
my son wanted to plant it.
Because your son wanted, and we were on the other side of this fence looking at it, and then you told me, I said, well, how does it taste? And have you tasted it?
No, unfortunately, it's never been producing anything.
Never ever?
Yeah, it's been a few years, but it hasn't produced.
Well, actually, I'd like to show you something.
Okay.
Take a look here.
Oh, there's some? Oh, wow, that's a nice surprise. Thank you, Rick.
You are welcome. So you take these and you and your son should share those.
Oh, okay.
So we've got some actual gooseberries on this plant. First time, first ever. First year, and it's not often I get to do this to an owner of a plant that's never had it bloom before. So good luck.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for finding it.
We are surrounded here by this vine with all of this luxuriant leaves. And what kind of plant is this?
I believe it's called a Mandarin Vine, coming from South America, originated from South America. And it's a vigorous, edible vine. We can pick the leaves and cook and eat them.
So I'm going to try a tender one.
Okay, if you want to try a raw one.
Most of these I find have sort of a green flavor. I don't know how else to describe it, but a little different than I thought.
Okay.
It has not a hot spicy, but it has a very aromatic, spicy flavor to it that just, the minute you bite into it, it crunches in, and very interesting. Yeah, this would easily go into like a stir fry, or mix it into a soup or something like that.
And it's so vigorous, it actually kept climbing onto my plum trees. And
I mean, look at the.
It's very productive.
The vines just going every which way. My question to you is how do you use it, or how have you heard it used?
Yeah, my way of using it certainly isn't necessarily the best way, but we pick the leaves, boil it in water, and then mix it with soy sauce and other spices, or sometimes we just stir fry it. So
as a vegetable in a soup?
We probably haven't used it in a soup, but I'm sure you can use it in a soup.
It has a very distinctive, immediate flavor when you taste into it. Yeah, I'd eat it. In fact, I'm going to try a little bit bigger leaf and see how that goes, because this really was tasty. Now this one tastes, it's a little bit bigger leaf. It has a little bit of bitter to it, but and a green. Now this one had a green flavor, whereas the very much smaller one's not so much of a green flavor.
I got to try one picked right off the vine too. I've never done that actually.
Really? Oh my.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You see what yeah, it just, boom, it bursts in your mouth with a nice spicy. So we are right in the middle of a raspberry plant, and we've got some beautiful raspberries here. I'm going to hold one up, and these are just gorgeous. Here's maybe a little bit riper one here, and of course raspberries. This is the ripe one. It's a very nice one. It has a hollow indent and on the end, and these things, looks very ripe. Nice juice coming right out. Do you know the variety of this?
Yes, I bought this from a store actually. This is Tuolumne.
Tuolumne. Or Tuolumne?
I think it's Tuolumne. Yes.
Oh, Tuolumne.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
This is my favorite raspberry.
Get out the jam jars with this. Oh my.
And they are so easy to grow. They actually come up everywhere.
Beautiful, beautiful. And it's just filled in this whole section of fence. And then on the going in that direction, you got some other raspberries.
Yeah, another variety. I believe it's a red heritage raspberry, which is small.
Okay, we have a beauty here, and even I got surprised by this. Look at the shape of this nectarine. It did not look like a nectarine from this angle, other than the leaves, of course. But if you just look at the shape of it, it looks like an apple, but it's not.
And the color too.
Yeah, and the color too. Yeah. So, tell us what this is. What variety of nectarine?
This is a Spice C. It's a plum and nectarine hybrid.
Right. It is, I believe, a nectaplum.
Yeah, I think that's what it.
I believe that's what it is. Yeah. Beautiful and ripe and ready, and that's going to be a gorgeous piece of fruit. What do we do with it?
Eat it.
Oh my gosh. He said the magic word. Yeah. Look at this beautiful piece of fruit.
Yeah, this variety is really sweet and productive.
Let's open this up if we can. Oh golly. We don't have to compete with worms.
No, I'm okay. You and the crew enjoy it.
Okay, here we go.
It's very sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
I like my nectarines just slightly on the not mushy side, where they're still crisp.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's my favorite way, and full of sugar, full of sweetness. Yeah.
I really like this variety, and actually it's a little bit too sweet for me. Some people really like the sweetness. I wish it's slightly less sugar.
Well, we've got the crew behind me chomping at the bit, and I think what I need to do is share this. We are sitting at Foraging Hill, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, what are these plants that are surrounding us here?
Yeah, the ground cover you're talking about?
Yeah.
These are called Indian Aster. Actually, it's edible too. It's an nice edible ground cover. In the springtime, it gives nice, big, tender leaves that we pick the tip of, and we cook them usually with bean curds, and it's delicious. It's a delicacy in southeastern China.
Okay.
And in late summer to autumn, it actually sends out nice little purple flowers. So I think it's a perfect ground cover for anyone who loves the edible landscaping.
So in terms of the plant itself, when you eat it, how do you eat it typically?
Yeah, we usually boil it very briefly and then cut it into small pieces and mix together with bean curds. Yeah, right now it's not the perfect time for eating, but you get some hint of what the flavor might be.
Yeah, even with as young as that was. Now, obviously, I've not boiled it.
Yeah, this is not really young. Anyway.
Yeah, I've not boiled it, but I took you know, the end sprouts.
Yeah.
And there is a flavor to it. Very hard for me to describe because I can't think of how to what it tastes like.
Yeah, it's actually related to chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. Yeah. Interesting. That is what I was going to do. I love this. You've built a grape arbor.
Yes.
And I see a number of different kinds of grapes throughout on the sides and toward the back. So how about telling us what we've got in here?
All right, sure. The purple one here, large one, is a Kyoho. I think it's from Japan, but somehow it didn't seem to perform as good as other places. Maybe I remember when I bought those in China, they taste better. But these are Concord grapes. They should be really dark purple when they're ripe, but it's too early.
Not ripe yet.
Yeah, these are full of flavor.
Yeah.
And behind you here, Rick, is golden muscat, and these have wonderful flavor. And
my favorite wine is muscat wine.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the sweet wines, but oh boy. A little bit thicker on the skin and surrounding, which identifies the muscat right off.
Yeah, I usually spit the skin out.
Yeah, spit it out. Right. And these I've tried the Kyoho, but I tried it and I could not get it to grow where I had it planted, and unfortunately, but now I can see what I'm missing out on. Beautiful. Thank you. So we've got two plants here beside me. The one to the right I have not heard of before. I'm not familiar with this. What is it called?
It's called sweet olive, and I think the scientific name is Osmosis chinensis.
Okay.
It gives very fragrant flowers, and you can also use the flowers in some recipes too.
Oh, really? So you eat the flowers?
Oh, you could, yeah, if you need them.
And now, is there also when you say sweet olive, is there a fruit
No,
to it?
not really fruit. It's just the flowers.
Just the flowers are eaten.
Yes.
Okay. And to my other side here, I do recognize this. And you want to tell about this? What variety we've got?
I try to grab different varieties to it. What you are holding on, I think it's the male. Here is Dongquai. Behind these is the pink, and I got some beachy over there too.
Okay, very good. Young May.
Yes.
Young May. Another beautiful, and again, we've got the base is about this big around. So these are beautiful. About 7 years old here.
Not really. These
Not
are
quite.
younger. Yes.
Younger. Okay. Okay. Very nice.
By the way, I have something secret in the refrigerator. I'll show you. Yeah, this is a jar of young May fruits that I preserved, kind of. These are premature dropped young May fruits, so they're definitely not the best quality. But I try to use them anyway, so I put plenty of sugar in there. And so now the juice and sugar comes together in there, and the young May fruits are kind of, it's shrunk, but you can try a few. So as you can see, most of these Yangmei fruits are very light in color because they're from the pink variety and they're not ripe, and most of the color is gone. See, this is a different variety. Okay, try it first.
Sweet smell. Well, I'm going to take this little one here. Has a little seed inside. Tasty. So I think the first one was turning.
Oh, okay.
This one's much nicer, much sweeter, more flavored than that first pink one.
But again, the fresh ones are nothing like this.
Wow.
But you say that in a bad way, like it's bad. It's not. It's
no, it's not
really
bad.
Good.
This is not bad in the least.
That's still okay. I mean, to me, but
Wow. Thank you for
definitely.
for sharing with us, you know, your prized possession here. This is wonderful. Yunfei, thank you so very much for sharing with us today your lovely garden and these absolutely marvelous rare fruits. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been really an experience, and I'm glad I was able to give back just a little on your gooseberries today. So that was fun too.
thank you for visiting.
Oh, we've had a ball, and I know I speak for all of us in our thanks, and what a treat it has been to share with the the young Mai and such a rare fruit and such a unique opportunity. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
And for all of you out there, please like us or love us on Facebook. Be sure to share this video with your friends. Let them know what's coming in a couple of years, to your stores, hopefully even more to your gardens, because that's really important. And on YouTube, for crying out loud, subscribe this time, all of you. And again, my thanks to you for this really unique experience today.
Great. Thank you.
And eat.
Yeah. That is incredible. Oh, deliciosa.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you get a burgundy plum?
Trippity-doo, trippity-yay. My, oh my, what a flavor today.
Maybe actually it's a better idea to eat the burgundy first, because that's more like a neutral kind of flavor and taste.
Yeah. Well, but it doesn't preset your taste buds.
Okay, ready?
More slurps. Come on. Give me some slurps. I don't know. It's hard to say. I love both of them.
I think
This is really good.
This is the kind of outtake stuff, that we put in the back.
Nope. We're gonna put it in the front. John, say it. Steve Burger, eat your.
Hot out. Listen, Steve Burger, you got some competition. It's beautiful. Absolutely delicious.
Sweet and crunchy. Those two plums that we just had were better, but this is a close third. This is delicious. Gentlemen?
Yeah, I agree thoroughly.
It has some a nice spice to it, like almost like a cinnamon, like a holiday cider thing going on there.
But this is just to give you what the best I can give you at this moment. But these are almost nothing like the fresh fruits. So
Yeah.
just wait till you have a chance to eat the fresh ones.
Yeah.
Then you draw some real conclusions.
I really like these. They remind me of Christmas.
You have one dark one here. I will only eat part of it if someone wants
No, that's
to.
okay.
No,
You can
there's
dig,
more in there.
dig deep there to find some more dark ones.
Shades a bit like a Ramadan seed.
Oh, this one
wait,
tastes
exactly
totally
the
different.
Oh, it's a different one. It's better.
Totally different.
Okay, then you guys can find the red ones in here too. Yeah, there are a couple of here. 3.
I think you have something going in there just for, for the ones that fall off. This tastes. If I close my eyes, it's like almost like a Christmas dessert. It has a cinnamon, spiced apple cider taste going on. This is This is a product in itself.
Yeah, it's a
right here.
byproduct, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. This one in particular has. I mean, I get that.
The dark one is definitely
This one.
blueberry with
Yeah.
spiced apple cider. Delicious.